What's going on, Chiefs Kingdom? Harrison Graham back live here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. The bye week is over as we can look forward to Week 13 against the Denver Broncos in a big matchup in the AFC West. But we go live every Monday, so appreciate all of you for joining us, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific time every single week. We'll start as we always do, let the audience build up here, so shout out your city. Get the live chat popping. Let's get it busy here, and we'll get some shout-outs here. Tony says, hi, everyone. What's going on, Tony? Appreciate you for tuning in. Let's see. We got a Chiefs in there from Freddie. Let us know where you guys are watching from. We are here in Dallas, Texas, as always. Tony's in San Antonio. Jensen says, yo. What's up, Jensen? What's going on? Colorado Springs from RTMG. We've got hi from Barbados from Tom Hood. What's going on, Tom? I bet the weather is, yes, very nice this time of year and all times of the year where you are. Memphis, Tennessee is where Reginald is watching. St. Joseph, Missouri for Mahomes 86. Small town in New Jersey. Millville from Solar. We got Blue Springs from Braden. So shout out your city and let us know where you guys are watching from. Kansas City, Kansas from Twickies. Guadalajara, Mexico. We've got Hackenberg in Austria, excuse me. Hope you guys are all doing very well. Hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. If you did, type Y for yes. If you did not, type in for no. I hope we're getting all Ys. Had a good Thanksgiving. Got to see some family, watch some football. That's always a good thing. So Y for yes, N for no. Let's see. Jay Roby, by the way, in Fort Worth. I went to TCU, Jay Roby, so there you go. Potow, Oklahoma. We got Corey in Jefferson City, Missouri. Micah says yes. Tony, yes. Richard, yes. Braden, yes. Solar, yes. Reginald saying yes as well. So if you had a happy Thanksgiving, type Y for yes. If you didn't, type N for no. Let's see. Tom Hood says yes. Yeah, Jay Roby. Very nice indeed. Jensen says yes. Jensen's also in Kansas City. Looks like you guys all enjoyed your Thanksgivings. Hope y'all got some good food and some good family time. Kenneth and Jensen saying yes as well. Let's go to the next question here. Who is going to win the AFC West? All 4 teams are within 1 game. Is it going to be the Chiefs at 7-4 currently, the Chargers at 6-5, the Raiders who are 6-5, or the Broncos who are 6-5? Who is going to win the AFC West? Type KC for the Chiefs, type LAC for the Chargers, type LV for the Raiders, or type DEN for the Denver Broncos. Let's see. Kenneth saying the Chiefs. So is Tony, Wayne, Ronald, Solar. Chiefs by 2 games from Mahomes. Melanie says KC. Tom says Chiefs. Solar, Chiefs. Jeff Hook, Micah, Braden, Twickies. Tony, Jensen, Lorenzo saying Chiefs, saying all Chiefs. Solar says we winning out. I think it's possible. I did a record prediction video for the remainder of the schedule, and I said I think they'll win all but 1 game, but I could see this team winning the remainder of their games. Chiefs, no question. We got Polar saying Chiefs. Mike, Chiefs. Lady says Chiefs. Chiefs taking the number 1 seed, too. I think it's possible. Someone says type LV if you're a convicted felon. Oh, don't go there. Don't go there. Oh my goodness, that's a bloodbath. That is an absolute bloodbath. There's no doubt about it. So, all right, appreciate you guys for getting your comments and your votes in. Speaking of which, will the Chiefs get the number 1 overall seed in the AFC? Type 1 for yes. Type 2 for no. We've got the AFC playoff picture graphic in there somewhere. And we'll get some shout-outs after we show you guys. I think it's very possible. You look at where things sit right now with 6 games to go. Chiefs are only a game back that top seed. Now, the Ravens and Titans both have the tiebreaker over Kansas City, so you'll have to finish a game ahead of them. But, you know, I don't think Cincinnati's going to necessarily make a big push. We'll see about Buffalo. New England, I think, is the team to watch out for. They've won 6 in a row. Their defense is flying around. Mac Jones is playing a little better every week. So I think it's possible. So we'll get some shout-outs here. Jeff says no. Tony says yes. Corey, yes. Brandon, yes. Tom types 2 for no. Richard says no. Wayne Free says yes. Braden says no. Micah says no. Jeff says no. Chao says no. We got Pat's winning the East. Potentially. Someone says Chiefs 1 seed, Patriots 2 seed, Titans 3, Ravens 4. I can see that happening. Nikhil says yes. Jensen says yes. Pretty 50-50 on if they'll get the number 1 seed, and I think that's fair. I think the Chiefs still are going to have to string a lot of wins together. Who you got this week? Type KC for the Chiefs, type DEN for the Broncos. Let us know in the comments who you got winning in Week 13. Sunday Night Football. This game got flexed into Sunday Night Football, so who you got in this matchup? Let's see. Project says, why are you looking over certain comments? Well, I just read yours. If I read every single comment that came through, it would be I'd be here all day. KC by 20 from Solar. KC with the nice win in prime time. KC for sure. KC Chiefs from Jeremiah. Chiefs 35-13 from Kenneth. Reginald says KC. Jensen says KC. Mahomes brings his vintage self back to throw 3 touchdowns and 350 yards. Why did the game get moved? Because 49ers Seahawks isn't what Sunday Night Football is looking for. That is why. All right, before we get into the bulk of our show, like this video if you love the Chiefs. Come on, we got 80 people watching, only 13 likes. Can we get to 40 likes? Come on, like the video. Let me know once you've liked it, and I can give you a shout-out. And let's get to 40 likes here before we move on here. So I'm just going to let you guys do your thing, and once we get to 40, we'll go. Jensen has liked it. Tony has liked it. 15 likes away from 40. 7 away. Corey says KC dominates the Broncos. Barely remember the last time we lost to Denver. Yeah, they've dominated this series, and Mahomes has never lost to Denver. Project Boy says blowout KC 40-13. We're 3 likes away from 40. Once we get there, we can start the bulk of today's live show. RTMG says I got you. What's up? Micah liked it as well. All right, we just hit 40 likes. We're going to do a Chiefs vs. Broncos preview, plus answer all of your questions. So use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. We'll get to all of your questions throughout the show. That's hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. But first, we'll get into our Week 13 preview against the Broncos. You're watching the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Let's get into a Chiefs vs. Broncos preview in the AFC West. It's going to be a big one between Kansas City and Denver. Denver coming to Arrowhead. Kansas City sitting there with 4 straight victories. Chiefs heavy favorites early on in this one, a 10-point favorite. So let us know who you think is going to win. But we'll have a full preview, keys to victory, and all of that good stuff as well. Over-under just at 47 points, which isn't super surprising. Denver's offense isn't that explosive, and the Chiefs' defense has obviously played a whole lot better. This is a primetime game. Sunday Night Football, 8:20 Eastern, 7:20 Central Time at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Before we break down some of the X's and O's and get into some of my thoughts of this matchup, predict the score in the comments. Chiefs, Broncos. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. So reply right there. Let us know who you think is going to win and what the final score is going to end up being. I will give you my final score prediction at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. Chiefs vs. Broncos score predictions. Let's get them right now. You look at the AFC West, this is obviously a monumental game, right? The Chiefs sitting there at 7-4, Chargers and Raiders and Broncos all at 6-5, based on tiebreakers. That's how the standings sit currently. But Denver with the win conceivably could move into first place here. So this is a kind of a swing game in the AFC West. If the Chiefs win it, they separate themselves a little bit. If the Broncos win it, okay, it's even more of a crowded race at that point in time. So this is a big game, as this is the first of 3 straight AFC West matchups for the Chiefs. Next week it'll be the Raiders. Week after that, Thursday Night Football against the Chargers. You look at these teams' last 5 games. Obviously, Kansas City just had their bye week in Week 12, but it's been a 4-game winning streak for Kansas City. 19-9 win over Dallas in Week 11. 41-14 win in Vegas in Week 10. Grinded out a win over the Packers in Week 9. and did the same thing against the Giants in Week 8. 4 straight victories for Kansas City coming into this one. And plus, we know Andy Reid is excellent typically coming off a bye week. For Denver, they won 3 of 4 as well. They're playing some good football. Hammered the Chargers this week 28-13. Had their bye week in Week 11 and Week 10. Did have that kind of ugly showing against Philadelphia, but a nice win against Dallas on the road, 30-16, and then took care of business against Washington as well. This is not a Denver team that Kansas City can afford to take lightly. They need to play some good football to make sure they take care of business, and I fully believe that they will. Guys, the holidays are here. Get this Chiefs hoodie for 50% off at chatsports.com/Chiefs hoodie. That's chatsports.com/Chiefs hoodie. This hoodie is flying off the shelf, so go ahead and pick it up now while they're still available for 50% off. We'll get that link in the live chat, the comments, and in the description. Chatsports.com/Chiefs hoodie. These deals don't last forever. Get it for $35 instead of $70, which is full price. 50% off. It's a great deal. It's a perfect gift this holiday season. And also, hey, join us for our live Chiefs vs. Broncos watch party Sunday, December 5th, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central Time. We'll be live for this matchup, so subscribe and turn on those notifications to join us for a live watch party. All right, let's get to some keys to victory for the Chiefs against the Denver Broncos. Number one, you got to play turnover-free football. And I want to harp on this for a few moments here. You got to play turnover-free football against Denver because look at what the Broncos did against the Chargers. They took advantage of 2 Justin Herbert interceptions. One was a pick six. The other one, they scored a touchdown off of it. 14 points off of turnovers against the Chargers. And we know that Kansas City, with Patrick Mahomes, has been a little turnover-prone this season. So if you're the Chiefs, play turnover-free. Play clean. Don't give the Broncos defense opportunities to give themselves some short fields for that offense. Denver's offense isn't that scary, so this is an opponent that if they're going to score on you, you want to make them drive the length of the field. Don't turn the football over. Play clean. If you have to punt the ball, but do not throw interceptions and fumble the football. Number 2, make Teddy Bridgewater beat you. Simple, right? Make Teddy Bridgewater beat you. That kind of ties into number 1. Make him, do some long drives and lead the Broncos down the field on having to throw the football. Look at what he did against the Chargers. Nothing special, guys. He only had to throw the ball 18 times. Now, he left briefly with an injury before coming back, but still, 11 of 18, 129 yards and a touchdown, and they won easily. That cannot continue against the Chiefs. You need to make Teddy Bridgewater throw the ball a lot in order to beat you. Why? Because the Broncos last week against the Chargers, how did they win? Defense and running the football. They had 33 carries for 147 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns in the win over the Chargers last week. Teddy Bridgewater didn't have to do much. They were able to overcome Drew Lock having to play for a little bit and throwing a pick because they just ran the football down their throats. You have to force Bridgewater to beat you. How do you do that? You slow down the run. Slow down the run, put the ball in Teddy's hands. The Chiefs will win this game easily if they are able to accomplish that. If not, it's going to be a little bit harder to beat this Denver team that's playing really well, especially on the defensive side of the football. But make Teddy beat you, and you're going to be in good shape. Do you trust the Chiefs defense as it stands currently? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Let us know. Do you trust Kansas City's defense at this point in time? I feel pretty good about it, especially against a team like Denver. Type Y for yes, or you can type in for no. This isn't really a key, but this is just kind of a momentum thing. I think momentum is real in sports, especially in rivalry games. Mahomes and the Chiefs in general, they just own Denver. They really do. Over the past, 10, 12 matchups, whatever it is, Mahomes has never lost to Denver. He's 7-0 in these matchups, and most of the games haven't been particularly close. You look at his career numbers against the Broncos with that 7-0 perfect record. You remember his rookie year, his first career start came in Week 17 to beat the Denver Broncos, and he hasn't looked back since then. 68% completion percentage, over 1,800 passing yards. It's over 260 a game. 10 touchdowns against just 3 picks. Again, play turnover free, and a QB rating of over 100. Let's just call it what it is. Patrick Mahomes is Denver's daddy, as Chase Sr. would like to say. He absolutely owns the Broncos. If you looked up Denver Broncos on Wikipedia and next to owner, it probably says Patrick Mahomes because he has absolutely owned the Denver Broncos in this rivalry in recent years. Continue to be Daddy Mahomes, both off the field, of course, because he's a dad now, but on the field when he faces the Broncos, because if that continues, yeah, the Chiefs are going to be in a very good position to win an 8th straight against Denver under Patrick Mahomes. Who do you got in this matchup? Type KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. Type DEN for the Denver Broncos. Let us know in the comments who you got in this matchup. I've got a score prediction for you guys. I believe, I don't know if I've got it, Trace. I think I wrote it down. I've got the Chiefs winning, obviously. I can't remember what I put as my score. Here we go. Chiefs win it 31-13. That is my official prediction. I think this is a blowout. I think Andy Reid coming off a bye week makes this a very, very easy win for Kansas City, and it's 5 straight victories for the Kansas City Chiefs. They win it 31-13. Get your predictions in down below. And while you're at it, subscribe to us here at the Chiefs Report, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. We will continue to keep you guys updated with the latest Chiefs news, rumors, and a whole lot more. So subscribe, and of course, join us for our watch party on Sunday night. All right, I want to get some shout-outs for this one. KC or Denver? Tony says KC. Sam says KC. Some people are chanting Harrison in the comments. I don't know what that means. Maybe he's offended by my daddy comment. I don't really know. Michael says Kansas City. Sam says 42-14. I assume Chiefs on that one. Let's see. James, I see you in there. Zcash says Kansas City. Let's see. All right, Zcash, I get it. You don't have to spam it that much. James, I see you're a Bears fan. Yeah, I host our Bears show as well. I get it. Got a lot of duties here at Chat Sports. Ryan says Kansas City. Zcash is a Chiefs fan, as expected. All right, it is mailbag time, so use hashtag Chiefs, or you can super chat to get your questions on the show. That's hashtag Chiefs or super chat to get your questions answered, and we will answer all of them on today's video. So get them in. If you super chat, we'll prioritize, though. It's like the Fast Pass at Disney World. We'll get those on the show guaranteed. If you use hashtag Chiefs, pretty good odds you'll get on as well. But if you want to guaranteed to be on our mailbag, use hashtag Chiefs, or you can super chat to get your questions on. It is mailbag time here on the Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. Again, hashtag Chiefs or super chat to get your questions in. We will answer as many questions as we can get to on today's show, so go ahead and submit them. Jensen's Weather Forecast asks, isn't Andy Reid the best coach after the bye week? I've heard that multiple times. I don't have his record in front of me. It's very good, though. It's well above 500. Historically, yes, he has been one of the best coaches coming off the bye week in NFL history. He might be number one in win percentage. I'd have to go double check that. But Andy Reid is tremendous coming off the bye. He uses the extra time to reset, refresh, and then get the Chiefs prepared for their opponent after the bye week. He has been tremendous over the years, going back to his days as the Philadelphia Eagles head coach as well. Adrenaline Central, are the Chiefs back? As in, are the Chiefs back to being the Chiefs? Well, they've won 4 in a row, so in just a pure winning standpoint over the last month, yes. But I still think they, at times they've been a little lackadaisical. That Raiders game was by far the most complete game they played. The defense has been rolling. They shut down Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. But I think these next couple of weeks are a good opportunity to really stamp your, put your notice on the NFL at, hey, we're back. Go win your next 3 AFC West opponents. Get to 10-4. That would be 7 straight victories. At that point, it's like, all right, the Chiefs are really back. They're back, but they're not, I would say at their peak at this point in time. Freddie Martinez asks, do you think we will go undefeated for the rest of our games? Appreciate you guys using hashtag Chiefs to get your questions on the show. I think it's possible. I did a record prediction video for the remainder of the season. I had them losing 1 game just because I thought putting a loss on there made sense, but I definitely think it is possible they win their final 6 games and go 13-4, which means they would have won their final 10 to finish the regular season. Zcash Bands, do you think we can make another Super Bowl and win it? I think it's possible, yeah. let's show the AFC playoff picture real quick, Trace. You look at how things sit in the AFC. Who is just the clear favorite to come out of the AFC? There's no reason why the Chiefs can't be that team. Buffalo has slipped recently, and they just lost Tre'Davious White. The Titans have a ton of injuries with Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, and Julio Jones, and Henry's probably not coming back. Baltimore is 8-3, but they've looked very human recently. The Patriots look like a team to be reckoned with. I think the Chiefs and the Patriots are the best two teams in the AFC right now. So, yeah. And when you talk about New England, you're talking about a team with a rookie quarterback. Like, I'll take Mahomes over Matt Jones in a do-or-die game at this point all day. I'll just lean on the veteran there. So I think there's a very good chance the Chiefs make another run at the Super Bowl. We got Sammy Shambles next, #Chiefs. Should the Chiefs draft Chris Olave next year? I'd like it. The wide receiver out of Ohio State. I think this is a topic we've talked about a ton. Number 2 receiver for the Chiefs hasn't exactly been a position of strength, if you will. Josh Gordon hasn't really shown much. McCole Hardman has just been kind of a gadget guy. He hasn't been great. I like Byron Pringle, but he's more of a number 3. So, yeah, I think drafting Chris Olave is very much a real possibility. Continue to get your questions in, #Chiefs or Super Chat, so producer Trace can find all of your questions. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. Who is your dream first-round draft pick? Just let us know. Dream first-round pick. We'll make this the pinned comment, so if you get hit with the YouTube ad break, go ahead and answer right there. Paul Soldier, 23, predict Patrick Mahomes' 2021 stats. For the rest of the year, I'm just going to pull up his stats currently. Give me a second. We've got, so far, through 11 games, he's thrown for 3,200 yards exactly, 65.5% completion, 25 touchdowns, 11 picks. So he's on pace for almost 40 touchdowns and, 16 picks. So I'll say just over 5,000 yards passing, 39 touchdowns, and 14 picks. I think he'll throw 14 TDs to just 3 picks the rest of the way. Who says no? That's just me throwing a dart, baby. I'm at the bar. I'm just throwing darts. So we'll see how it ends up, but I think somewhere in that area is possible. Jensen again. I've heard people say Andy Reid is the – oh, we already asked to answer this question. Yeah, he's been great off the bye week. There's no doubt about it. Let's go Isaac Murphy here. If Harrison could choose one player for the Chiefs to cut, who would he pick? If there were no salary cap, or if cutting him cleared all of the player's salary cap, it would probably be Frank Clark, even though he's played better, because then I could have $25 million to play with. But if it's just one player to just get rid of and not worry about it, I'm trying to think of the worst player on the team. Ben Neiman? I don't like Ben Neiman. He kind of sucks. Probably go Ben Neiman. Sorensen hadn't been great this year, but he's played a little better as of late. Probably go Ben Neiman. I don't think he's good at all. Mahomes 86. Have you invested in any Patrick Mahomes rookie cards? I have not. When I was a kid, I was more of a card collector. I don't do much of that anymore. Doesn't mean I will never buy cards again, whether it's baseball or football, but I do not have a Patrick Mahomes rookie card, unfortunately, because that'll probably be worth a lot someday. Tony says, hope we end up with a great record. Yeah, listen, hit that subscribe button because we have Chiefs videos almost every single day, and we did a record prediction video on Sunday. So anyone who wants to go check that out, hit the subscribe button. Use #Chiefs or Super Chat. Producer Trace telling me not getting a ton of questions, so go ahead and load those in there so we can answer some more. We've got full on nuts. Is Shane Buechele the long-term backup quarterback, or should Kansas City draft a QB? I think there's a decent chance that he will be the long-term backup. That's what I'm hoping for, right? Obviously, you don't need a starter. You've got Mahomes. But if you could find your long-term backup as an undrafted free agent from last year, that's tremendous. Now, that doesn't mean they're not going to draft a quarterback and maybe have a competition for QB2. But if you feel comfortable with Buechele and don't have to draft a quarterback, that is obviously the preferred outcome. We'll see if Chad Henne keeps playing, but he's getting up there. He's like 36 now, so we'll see what the quarterback position looks like sometime, in the offseason behind Patrick Mahomes. Now, we do have a sweet deal for you guys as kind of our post-Cyber Monday sale continues here. You can get this T-shirt combo, short sleeve and long sleeve, for 50% off. Normally it's $50 for both. Right now it's only $25. Chatsports.com/Chiefs combo. That link will get you to the page to go ahead and buy this today for 50% off. That is chatsports.com/Chiefs combo. Pick up a short sleeve and a long sleeve T-shirt. It's 2 for 1. $25 at chatsports.com/Chiefs combo. Parth Patel, Byron Pringle starting to become Sammy Watkins' replacement. I don't hate that. Similar type of players, in key spots, they're reliable, which Sammy was when he was healthy. He was just hurt all the time. I don't hate that. I don't think Pringle's a pure number 2 receiver, but I think he's an excellent number 3. Adrenaline again. Is Jahan Dotson the best option for the Chiefs in the draft? Receiver out of Penn State. He's really explosive, a good returner as well. I like him quite a bit. I think he's what McCole Hardman we hoped he would be. Dotson has the similar explosiveness, but he's a much better route runner and pure receiver. I think Dotson would be a guy that I would have great interest in. Paul Soldier, if we let go on Tyrann Mathieu, should we pick up Jesse Bates in free agency, or should we sign Gilmore? Gilmore's just a different position, so I don't think those two are connected. As far as Bates goes, he's a little bit younger. I don't know what his market will be, though. Like, is Mathieu or Bates going to cost more? It might be Bates because he's younger. I would probably just bring back Honey Badger because you know what you have there, but we'll have to wait and see what Brett Veach prioritizes in free agency. Zcash, were you born in Kansas City, Missouri, or just Kansas? Neither. I was not born in Kansas City, Missouri, or in Kansas. I was born in the great state of Texas. RTMG asks, will Tyreek have another unbelievable catch against Denver that actually counts? That's right. So last year he had that crazy touchdown that he didn't even realize was a touchdown. They ended up punting and didn't challenge it because by the time they realized he caught it, it was too late. Tyreek Hill is the first receiver in NFL history to tell his coaching staff he did not catch a ball on a 50-50 one. That, you know how receivers are like, oh yeah, I caught it. And then you see the replay. It's like, dude, it clearly hit the ground. This was the opposite. He was like, I don't think I caught it. But he did. But it was too late. We'll see. Hopefully he has a big game on Sunday. Shout out your favorite Chiefs player. Show them some love. Let us know who it is, current or former. Either way works. Just shout out your favorite Chiefs player, current or of all time. Couple more here. Parth Patel, do you think Patrick Mahomes is back? I'm still not 100% with him being back. He's not back to peak Mahomes, but he's playing a lot better. He's being smarter with the football. That Raiders game, he was tremendous. That was his best game of the year. But yeah, I'm with you. He's not quite fully back, but he's in a much better place than he was, say, 5 or 6 weeks ago. Isaac Murphy, what would you grade the Orlando Brown trade after a fair sample size? Give it like a C+. I don't know if either side has, clearly won that trade by any means, but Brown has gotten better for the most part as the season went on. He didn't play as good against Dallas, but I think he's gotten a little bit better, and this is still a new scheme for him. He comes from a run-heavy offense, and now he's trying to play with the Chiefs, so I think we have to give it time. But yeah, I mean, at this point, it has not been a home run trade. I think that's fair to say. The Pierre family, we going to beat the Broncos? Hell yes, 31-13. Give me the Chiefs in this one. I think they beat Denver. Last one on this mailbag, Jensen's weather forecast. What position would you draft in the first round if you were Brett Veach? It's a good question. I think positions you could target: receiver, safety, depending on Matthew's future, and pass rusher, probably defensive end. I think those are the 3 areas I would look at if I was the Kansas City Chiefs in the NFL draft. If we didn't get to your question on this mailbag, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at HGramNFL. You can go ahead and push this across Trace before the next one. At HGramNFL, if we didn't get to your question on this mailbag, you can go ahead and follow me there and ask me all of your questions. It's at HGramNFL. That's at HGramNFL. If you want more Chiefs content on Instagram and some NFL and other sports content as well. Shout out your favorite Chiefs player. We'll get some shout outs to you guys here. Then we've got one more mailbag to go. One more mailbag to go. So go ahead and load up your questions. I already see a few in there, but we'll get to all those. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. Christian Okoye, I see a Travis Kelce, Priest Holmes, Tony Gonzalez, Derek Johnson, Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes. See another Tony Gonzalez coming in. Favorite player for the Chiefs, current or all-time? Chris Jones. A couple more coming in. L'Jarius Sneed. Appreciate all of that as well. Let's show the hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat one more time, and then we'll get into our last mailbag here. So use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. That way producer Trace can find all of them. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions answered. One more mailbag to go, so stay tuned with us. Welcome into the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I am Harrison Graham. We're about to answer all of your questions on today's mailbag, but first, follow me on Instagram because A, you can always ask me questions over there, and I'm responding to people all the time. B, if you want more Chiefs and NFL and other sports content, that is where you can get it for free. Follow me on Instagram at HGrahamNFL. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get to your questions. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. Adrenaline Central asks, was the problem with the Chiefs' defense coaching or players? It was a combination of everything. I think Spags has made some adjustments. Something he's doing is blitzing a lot more. I think his corners are playing better. Charvarius Ward has quietly picked it up. Rashad Fenton has become a nice find. And L'Jarius Sneed's playing a lot better at this point as well. Tyrann Mathieu lifted his level. And obviously, Chris Jones has played a lot better also. So I think it's a combination, but I think a lot of it is just the players are just playing better than they were. They weren't playing that good early in the year. Paul Soldier, should we sign Jesse Bates or Stephon Gilmore in free agency? If I had to pick one, oh gosh, if Tyrann Mathieu's back, the answer is Gilmore. If he's not, the answer is Bates. So I know that's kind of a cop-out answer. Bates is a younger player. I would probably lean him if it's just mono-y-mono, pick one, but both are obviously really good players. Isaac Murphy, does Harrison have a favorite memory of the Chiefs versus Broncos over the years? Crowd too loud for Elway, perhaps. Obviously, all the Elway years. I'll say this: the game a few years ago where Case Keenum and the Broncos were taking it to Mahomes and the Chiefs in Mile High. Denver dominated that game, and Mahomes had a epic fourth quarter comeback. I think it was the 2018 season. It was his first start in Denver, Mahomes's, and he led him back, and he was tremendous. So that one really stands out to me because usually the Chiefs in recent years have dominated this head-to-head matchup, but that one, they had to earn that one and take that one late. I think it was a Monday night game, too. It was a primetime matchup, so that one really stands out to me. Mahomes 86 with Kansas City now getting a bunch of Whataburgers. Give us your order recommendation. Okay, this is good. For you non-Texas folks that are now getting Whataburger in the Midwest, in Kansas City, you can't go wrong. There's a lot of – everything on the menu is good. I'm just a classic number 2 double meat, double cheese cheeseburger. Get fries and a drink. That's just like spicy ketchup always. Always get the spicy ketchup. They also have other good dipping sauces. I like the creamy pepper sauce, and their barbecue sauce is really good. Other items on the menu though. Late night food, honey butter chicken biscuit. That's just an automatic. The honey, what's the chicken sandwich? Honey barbecue chicken sandwich. That's always on the menu. Doesn't have to be late night. Their breakfast in general is good. Do they still have the taquitos? The taquitos are good. The whole menu is good. And if you're like, oh yeah, I love In-N-Out, you won't after this. Trust me on that. Whataburger kicks In-N-Out's ass. You guys need to go check it out if you haven't already. Not a sponsor, by the way, but I wish it was. Larry, can the Chiefs sign Davante Adams in free agency this offseason? That'd be amazing, right? You pair Davante Adams with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. Yeah, sign me up. You're probably not going to have the money to do so, but you just speculate. You kind of just have fun thinking about it, and no big deal. And yeah, I mean, look, this is arguably the best receiver in the NFL, along with Tyreek Hill, for being honest. These are probably the two best receivers in the league. So if you could team them up with the best tight end in the league, how are you going to stop the Chiefs? You're not. That's the answer. Who do you think the better wide receiver is? We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video. If you think it's Tyreek Hill, type TH. If you think it's Devontae Adams type DA. They obviously have different skill sets. I think they would complement each other very well. If you get hit with the YouTube ad break, scroll on down to the pinned comment, type TH or DA. Tony Fuentes, yeah, my friend, I would really love to T-shirt and long sleeve shirt combo with the sweater. I'm really looking forward to it. Then I'm going to all right, appreciate it, Tony. Go take advantage. Chatsports.com/Chiefs combo. Adrenaline Central, best Chiefs defensive player. This is a tough question. I think when he's fully locked in, it's Chris Jones. Chris Jones can take over games. Chris Jones won the Cowboys game. It's as simple as that. He dominated that game, and that is why the Chiefs won. Obviously, Tyrann Mathieu in the conversation. I think it's one of those two, but I think it's Chris Jones because no one can take over a game on this defense quite like he can. JP the God, how do you think Juan Thornhill has been since he's been a starter? Better than Dan Sorensen. He's better in coverage. We know that. I think he's been fine. He hasn't been rookie level Juan Thornhill. Maybe he never will again, which is unfortunate because his rookie year, he was awesome. I was like, oh my God, you got a steal in the second round. And the torn ACL has obviously shifted that a little bit. But he's been better than Sorensen, and that's what you hope for when you make a change. Paul Soldier, 23, do we need a cornerback or a wide receiver? I think you need a receiver more. Look, Snead, Charvarius Ward, and Fenton have played well, especially as of late. So I think receiver moving forward is actually a bigger need. RTMG, do you think Creed Humphrey could be one of the best centers in the league for the next 5 to 10 years? He's PFF's highest graded center this year as a rookie, which is tremendous. Yeah, there's no reason why he can't. He's been excellent. For a second-round pick, that's been an absolute home run selection. Paul Soldier, should we worry about Denver's defense who shut down the Chargers' offense, especially since our receivers dropped the ball? I would not say that. I think the receivers have done better recently, but Tyreek Hill had some drop issues early in the year. Kelsey's had a little bit of a drop bug recently, but I think it'll be fine. Obviously, Denver's defense in general is a good one. So, yeah, you're going to have to earn your yards, but I think if the Chiefs are locked in, they should be able to move the ball just fine. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. But first, want to remind you guys to follow me, your boy, on Instagram, at HGramNFL. It's at HGramNFL. Give me a follow on my IG, and I will and you guys can ask me your questions. We can chat over there, and you'll be able to enjoy some more Chiefs and sports content at HGramNFL on Instagram. Jensen's weather forecast. I think a reasonable record for the Chiefs, 12-5, 11-6 at worst. The best I see them going is 13-4, but it's going to be a bumpy road. Well, I don't want to be rude, Jensen, but yes, the best they can go is 13-4 because they already have 4 losses. So I agree. That is the best they can go. I think they're in that. I think 11 or 12 wins is probably most likely. They could win out, but I still need to see a little bit more consistency. If I had to guess, I'd probably say 12-5. 5-1 over the final 6, and then that might give you the 1, if not the 2 seed in the AFC. Araceli Cruz, do you think we signed Gallup during the offseason? Yeah, I've gotten this question a couple of times in recent weeks. I wouldn't mind it. I think he's a good number 2 receiver. He's not a number 1, but you don't need a number 1. Really, he'd be your number 3 behind Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. So I think he would absolutely flourish in that role in this offense. Tony Fuentes, if we win the Super Bowl, you should do a big live chat party. Well, if the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, we'll be live for a watch party, just like we were last year, although last year it was a disaster with how bad they got beat. But, yeah, if the Chiefs make the Super Bowl and win it, we're gonna be popping bottles, baby. It's going to be a good time. Excuse me. James Lean, what's more likely, winning the Super Bowl or missing the playoffs? It's a good question. I'm going to say it's winning the Super Bowl. And the reason I'll say that is the Chiefs are in first place. They're in a good position to make the playoffs. So they would really have to not collapse but play poorly to miss the playoffs. And I just don't think that's very likely. Now, it's not incredibly likely, just based on odds, 14 teams make the playoffs, that they'll win the Super Bowl. I just think that's more likely than flat out missing the playoffs altogether. So I will say winning the Super Bowl is more likely for this season than missing the playoffs. Hit that subscribe button here at the Chiefs Report. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. If you want to be a part of these mailbags every Monday, then subscribe and join us every Monday at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central. We also cover the latest news, rumors, injury updates, and a whole lot more, game previews. So subscribe and do not miss any of it here on the channel. Adrenaline Central, will Josh Gordon ever click? I hope so. I think it's possible that he's just a guy, right? What is just a guy? He's just an okay NFL receiver. And if that's the case, that's okay. They're not paying him much. He does well as a run blocker. I'd like to get him some red zone targets because he's such a big body. But I don't know. It's possible he's just not a great player anymore. And all honesty, that's probably what the case is. History and geography person. #Chiefs. With the Titans losing, could the Chiefs take the #1 seed, judging by the last few games? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's possible. Obviously, you look at the playoff picture here. We'll pull up the graphic. The Chiefs are right there where they need to be, right? I mean, Baltimore's a game up on you, and they have the head-to-head, so that's the team, you got to surpass. Same with Tennessee, but if the Chiefs win this week, they're back even with them, so they just have to finish one game better. I think it's very possible. I'll say this. If the Chiefs win out, I think 13-4 would get you the #1 seed. Now, with 12-5, I don't know. There's a decent chance the Ravens or the Titans would also have 12 wins, and if that's the case, they've got the tiebreaker on you. D.S. Davidson, do we go sign Phillip Lindsay in the offseason? So obviously Denver cut him. Miami picked him up. I think he'd be a nice piece in this offense. He'd probably be a better Jerick McKinnon in that role, kind of a speed demon type who can catch the football, run it a little bit as well. I wouldn't mind that. He's not what he was his first couple of years, but he's still, a very good player. Araceli Cruz, do you think we could get better O-line in the draft? Who are you getting rid of if you go get an O-lineman? Assuming they're going to sign Orlando Brown, you're set at left tackle. Joe Thuney's your left guard. Creed Humphrey's your center. I think Trey Smith is your right guard. He's just been mauling people. Right tackle? I guess right tackle's the one spot you could say, maybe we could get better there. Lucas Niang, I think he's done some good things. He's obviously been hurt in recent weeks. I don't think Mike Remmers is the long-term option. So I will say if you look at the O-line, it's probably the right tackle position. But I think Lucas Niang is still a guy that can continue to get better. Jensen again. Who do you think the toughest opponent is in the AFC? I think it's the Patriots. I agree. I think currently it's New England. Now, could Buffalo get back in that mix? If Tennessee could get healthy, they could get there. But if Derrick Henry doesn't come back, they don't really scare me at this point. I'm going to go New England, at least for now. They play Buffalo on Monday Night Football in Week 13. That's going to be a big test for New England. If they go beat Buffalo, that's the team to beat along with the Chiefs in the AFC. #Chiefs or Super Chat. Let's get to this one here from RTMG. What's the team you'd want the Chiefs to play in the Super Bowl? In terms of excitement, the Cowboys. Could you imagine the ratings for Chiefs-Cowboys? Plus, I think the Chiefs could handle the Cowboys once again. A team, from a just storyline standpoint, the Bucs again get that rematch opportunity. Obviously, Mahomes versus Rodgers. We didn't get to see it in the regular season. Could we see it in the Super Bowl? I think all of those would be great stories. Now, who would I want to play in terms of, I think, the easiest team to beat out of, the contenders in the NFC? I think it'd probably be like the Rams, who have started to slip recently. I think that's a team that the Chiefs could handle pretty easily. Predict the score. Chiefs versus Broncos here in Week 13. Chiefs are 7-4. Broncos are 6-5. So get your score predictions in before we send this bad boy on loop. Get your predictions in. And remember, follow me on Instagram, @HGramNFL. More questions over there if we didn't answer them during our mailbags. Predict the score. Let's see. Tony says 13-5. That's 18 games. So unless you're predicting, a first-round playoff exit, that doesn't really work. Micah says 23-17 Chiefs. Adrenaline says 31-14 Chiefs, 35-13 from history. 100-0 from Paul. He did add an LOL. Rashard Lee says 40-13 Kansas City. Subscribe and join us every single Monday, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific time. Turn on those notifications so you always get notified when we publish any video, but also when we go live as well. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Hit that big red button and subscribe today as we continue to grow this channel. If you missed anything here on today's Chiefs Report, it's all going to come up on loop, so stay tuned right now. We'll get to that. We'll get to the loop here in just a second. I can get a couple of shout-outs here. Alex says 31-17. Sean says 24-13. Once I get the green light, we'll send this on loop. Paul says 42-28. Caleb says 32-14. Cole says 48-28. We're ready to go now. We're sending this on loop. We'll have our preview and our 2 live mailbags coming up right now. You're watching the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Let's get into a Chiefs versus Broncos preview in the AFC West. It's going to be a big one between Kansas City and Denver. Denver coming to Arrowhead. Kansas City sitting there with 4 straight victories. Chiefs heavy favorites early on. You're watching the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Let's get into a Chiefs versus Broncos preview in the AFC West. It's going to be a big one between Kansas City